It's time for another Devo tip on deconstructing relationships. We're looking at Malachi chapter 2, verses 10 through 16. People like to connect. We're wired that way, aren't we? Connecting to something or someone is extremely powerful, but it is risky. We can hurt and we can get hurt. When stuff happens, and it always does, people will often reassess their relationships. Unfortunately, for the people in Malachi's day, they were deconstructing their relationships not to be safe, but to be free from their commitments. If you're going to deconstruct your relationships, it's a good idea to discern the camels from the gnats. Jesus said that we tend to strain out gnats, but have no problem swallowing a camel in Matthew 23:24. Is Jesus just being silly? I think he's trying to help us here. Apparently, we're inclined to quibble over petty issues when there's the proverbial elephant in the room. Jesus calls the elephant weightier matters. So what's on Jesus's weightier list? Justice, mercy, and faithfulness. If you're going to deconstruct your relationships, work toward doing justice, righting the wrongs, while loving mercy as well. That's not easy. It's much easier to throw the justice hammer down with no pity. And I think it's even easier to shower everything with compassion and scorn responsibility. I think we should try to relate with people in honest, gracious, redemptive ways that do not get jaded with the passing of time. As the Lord says through Malachi, guard yourselves in your spirit and do not be faithless. If you're going to deconstruct your relationships, it's a good idea to look inside the cup. Again, Jesus uses this illustration. No one likes doing dishes. Who has time to do that, right? We'd rather quickly rinse and move on. But again, Jesus is trying to help us out. People can clean the outside of their cups without touching the scum on the inside. We can't see inside someone's heart, but there are signs of scum. Scummy relationships feel hollow and empty, as if something is missing or somehow being overlooked. Perhaps it may even seem unclean. You sense manipulation or intimidation, or maybe the scum surfaces in put-downs, or maybe there's just too many lies. It's painful to look inside a cup because you realize that scum is all about power and control. We cannot change someone's behavior, but we can make changes in our own life to stay safe. And one of the ways we can protect ourselves from scum is to develop safe boundaries. According to Henry Cloud and John Townsend, they say that boundaries define us, but they're not walls. They're like fences with gates, so that we can let the good in and let the bad out when it gets inside. We can also take comfort that everything that is hidden will eventually be brought out into the open, and every secret will be brought to light. That's what Jesus says in Mark chapter 4:22. And it's okay to walk away. The kindest gift we can give to people who repeatedly hurt us is to remove the opportunity for them to sin against us. So, how can we help each other? Let's create space for difficult conversations, knowing that God's grace is greater than all the gnats, camels, elephants, and cups in the world. For when sin increases, grace abounds all the more.